Stop scrolling for a moment. What you're about to hear is not just another feel-good video about positive thinking or wishful dreaming. This is something deeper, something serious. You didn't land here by accident. This message found you because the universe is trying to shake you out of a cycle you've been stuck in for far too long. You might think you just clicked on a random video, but that's not how this works. You're here because something inside you is ready to change. You're not supposed to keep playing small. And today, you'll learn why. If this message is already stirring something in you, write in the comments, "I accept the summons." That's not just a comment. It's a sign to the universe that you're ready for more. There is a hidden power behind everything you see, and for centuries, the knowledge of how it works has been kept secret. Not because it's forbidden, but because few are truly ready for it. One of the ancient guardians of this knowledge, known in old texts as Thoth. Here we'll call him Tahara, the messenger of hidden light, left behind teachings that reveal the truth. And this truth has nothing to do with chanting affirmations or forcing your will on reality. The real power is not in what you say, it's in the energy you carry and the way the universe moves through you. This message is not for the casually curious. It's for those who know deep in their chest that they've been living below their true potential. If you've ever felt like there's more to life than what you've been told, like something is quietly calling you toward a bigger purpose, this message is for you. You weren't just meant to survive or chase random dreams, you were born to awaken something ancient within yourself, something that can shift not only your life but reality itself. Most people think manifestation means asking the universe for what they want, making a wish, saying it out loud, and waiting for it to arrive. But here's the deeper truth. While you're trying to create something, the universe is also shaping you. Every event you've been through, the heartbreaks, the delays, the unexpected moments, has been part of a bigger design. You are not just a creator, you are also a creation, being molded into something greater. And that's why so many people struggle. They try to force things, but nothing works. They think they've failed. But what's really happening is this. The universe is trying to prepare you for something better than what you're asking for. And once you learn how to listen to that process, how to feel it and flow with it instead of fighting it, everything begins to shift. You've been taught that manifestation is about setting goals, visualizing what you want, and waiting for it to show up. But there's a deeper side to this that most people never understand. While you're trying to shape your reality, reality is also shaping you. There's a greater force, a hidden intelligence, working behind the scenes of your life. It's not just responding to what you want, it's actively guiding you to become the version of yourself that can truly hold what you're asking for. Think of it like this. You're standing next to a powerful river. You want to build a small dam and change the direction of the water, but the river is so strong, it keeps carving its own path, flowing around obstacles, creating new routes you never expected. That's how the universe works. It doesn't just obey your commands. It flows with deep purpose, wisdom, and timing. And if you don't learn how to flow with it, you'll always feel stuck or frustrated. This is the hidden reason why some things you try to manifest never happen. It's not because you're broken. It's not because you did something wrong. It's because the universe sees a different path for you, one you can't fully see yet. And the more you fight it, the more resistance you feel. The secret is to recognize when you're out of alignment and to stop forcing things that aren't ready. When your desire and the universe's timing are in conflict, tension shows up. That's not failure, it's a signal. Most people give up at this point. They say manifestation doesn't work, they feel powerless. But the truth is, they're only seeing one side of the process. Thoth's ancient teachings, and others like them, reveal a deeper truth, that your desires are not separate from the universe's plan. They're part of a bigger story. But only when your energy matches that story will things begin to align. Until then, every delay, every block is a message, a chance to listen more deeply. You're not just asking the universe to give you something, you're having a conversation with it. And that conversation is two-sided. You speak through your desires, but the universe speaks through your experiences. It speaks through synchronicity, timing, detours, and closed doors. And if you pay attention, you'll realize it's always been trying to guide you somewhere better than where your mind was aiming. So if it feels like something just isn't clicking, don't rush to blame yourself or the universe. Step back. Look again. There may be a hidden alignment happening beneath the surface. Something is being prepared. You are being prepared. And soon, you'll understand why things had to happen exactly the way they did. This is the part where most people feel confused, angry, or even abandoned. They've done everything right, visualized, prayed, stayed positive, and yet things fall apart. Relationships end. Opportunities vanish. Unexpected pain shows up out of nowhere. So they start asking, why would I attract something I never wanted? The answer is difficult, but it's also freeing. You're not being punished. You're being purified. The universe doesn't give you what you ask for. It gives you what your energy is ready to hold. And if your energy is filled with old pain, fear, and unhealed wounds, the universe will bring those things to the surface, not to hurt you, but to help you heal them. Think of it this way. If you have weeds growing deep underground, sunlight won't make flowers grow until those weeds are pulled up. The pain you feel is not a failure. It's a sign that something inside you is being rearranged. Thoth, the ancient teacher, explained that hidden emotions, especially the ones we try to avoid, don't disappear. They stay lodged in your energy field like static in a signal. Fear, grief, resentment, heartbreak, all of it stays alive in your vibration unless it's faced. And because the universe always works by energy and resonance, those inner wounds attract outer experiences that match them. Not as punishment, but as mirrors. Each painful moment is a message, showing you what still needs to be acknowledged. The most powerful spiritual question you can ask in difficult times isn't, why is this happening to me? It's, what is this trying to teach me? What wound is this trying to uncover? What belief is this moment trying to break apart? What version of me is being asked to die so that something more powerful can live? When you start looking at life this way, pain becomes a compass, crisis becomes a doorway, and every setback turns into a sacred step forward. But this isn't easy. It takes real courage to face the parts of yourself you've been running from. It takes strength to admit that some of your own patterns have been creating the very things you say you don't want. And most of all, it takes honesty to realize that healing doesn't always feel good, but it always brings you closer to the truth. And that truth is this: you are not powerless. You are in training. The universe doesn't just give you the life you want. It shapes you into the person who can live it. And part of that shaping means breaking what no longer fits, releasing who you used to be, clearing the inner noise so your true frequency can rise. That's why things fall apart. That's why people leave. That's why the path twists and turns. Not because you're off track, but because you're getting aligned. There's something most people never realize about manifestation. It doesn't begin in the mind. It begins in the emotional body. The thoughts you think, the words you speak, they do carry energy. But what truly commands your reality is what you feel, deep down, in places you may not even be fully aware of. Your emotional state, your true, unfiltered emotional state, is like a signal sent out to the universe. That signal creates resonance, and resonance creates results. You can repeat affirmations all day. You can make vision boards and set powerful intentions. But if the emotion behind it is fear, insecurity, or doubt, then that's the real message you're sending. Not what you want, but what you feel. And that's what the universe will respond to. Thoth taught this clearly. Words alone are not enough. The frequency behind them is what shapes your field. The universe doesn't just listen to what you say, it listens to what you broadcast from your inner world. Imagine you're standing in front of a giant, invisible antenna. You whisper dreams of success, love, freedom, but if your emotional frequency is full of fear, heartbreak, or resentment, that's the real message being amplified. This isn't to make you feel guilty. This is to wake you up. Because now you have the power to change that signal, not by faking positivity, but by honestly facing what's inside you and choosing to clear it. And here's the hard part. The strongest emotional blocks are often the ones we avoid the most. The painful memories, the silent shame, the disappointment we never talked about. But these hidden emotions don't just disappear. They create friction in your energy field. They create delay. They attract patterns that force you to pay attention. That's why certain situations keep repeating. That's why the same type of person keeps showing up in your life. The universe is trying to help you release the unspoken weight you carry. Every feeling you've buried is like a note in your personal song, and if it stays out of tune, it throws off your entire vibration. That's why you don't just need to think better. You need to feel clearer, and that starts by making peace with what's already inside. When you begin to honor your emotions, not judge them, they transform. Sadness becomes wisdom. Fear becomes awareness. Anger becomes direction. And from that space, your magnetism becomes real. This is the silent shift that changes everything. You're not just a mind trying to think its way into a better life. You are a being of energy, emotion, and vibration. And once your emotional field is in harmony, the world outside of you begins to respond. The universe doesn't want you to fake peace. It wants you to become peace. And it will keep sending you the lessons you need until that harmony is reached. This is the moment where everything starts to change, when you stop running from your pain and start seeing it for what it really is, a messenger. Pain is not your enemy. It's your signal, your guide, your doorway. Most people try to escape it, distract from it, numb it. But pain has a purpose. It's the body and soul's way of telling you something is out of alignment. And the longer you avoid it, the louder it becomes. There is a hidden portal in your life that only opens when you stop reacting on autopilot and start becoming conscious of how you respond. Thoth spoke of this ancient space, a moment between the emotion and the reaction, a breath, a pause, a choice. That small gap is where your power lives. That's where you shift from victim to creator. It's where you stop letting life control you and begin directing your own energy with clarity and intention. But here's why it's so difficult. When you awaken to this truth, you also awaken to responsibility. You can't keep blaming others. You can't keep waiting for someone to fix it for you. You have to own your vibration, your choices, your reactions, and that can be uncomfortable. But it's also incredibly freeing. Because once you realize that your pain was never meant to destroy you, but to wake you up, you stop fearing it. When you become aware of your emotional patterns, something powerful happens. You start seeing your triggers as teachers. You stop feeling helpless and start asking better questions. Why does this keep happening? What part of me is still holding on to this fear? Instead of collapsing under stress, you stand still, you observe, you choose. This is what it means to step into pure consciousness, to rise above reaction and become intentional about every move you make. Now, this doesn't mean the old patterns disappear overnight. The past will still try to pull you back. Old habits, old thoughts, old fears, they will show up. Not because you've failed, but because you're changing the energetic script, and the old energy is resisting that shift. This is normal, and if you know how to face it, you can turn every pull backward into a leap forward. Every test becomes a chance to confirm your new alignment. The real magic happens when you stop seeing pain as a problem and start seeing it as preparation. When you can look at a difficult moment and say, "This is shaping me. This is guiding me. This is clearing space for something greater." Then you're no longer just reacting to life, you're partnering with it. And in that sacred partnership, the deepest transformation begins. After you begin awakening, something strange and frustrating often happens. Just when you think you've made real progress, the old patterns show up again. The same fears, the same doubts, the same emotional triggers that you thought you had left behind suddenly return, and it can feel like failure, like you're going backward. But you're not. You're actually being tested and strengthened. This is what Thoth's deeper teachings revealed. Old energy has momentum. The emotions, habits, and beliefs you've carried for years, even lifetimes, don't disappear instantly just because you've made a new choice. They have weight, they have memory. And when you step into a new vibration, those old energies rise up, not to defeat you, but to ask, "Are you really ready?" This is the universe's way of checking the strength of your new alignment. Think of it like breaking a bad habit. In the beginning, you feel clear and motivated. But then, out of nowhere, temptation creeps in. You feel pulled back, not because you're weak, but because you're shifting something deep. And when that resistance shows up, you have a choice: fall back into the old or stand firmly in the new. Every time you stay conscious in the face of old patterns, you rewire your field. You grow stronger. You rise higher. Most people mistake this pullback as failure. They feel ashamed, frustrated, guilty. But what they don't realize is that this is part of the sacred process. The universe doesn't test you to punish you. It tests you to anchor your growth. Each challenge is an opportunity to choose your new self again. Every time you notice an old trigger but respond differently, you are rewriting your future. You are proving that you are no longer ruled by your past. This is vibrational alchemy. The process of turning shadow into strength, not by avoiding hardship, but by facing it with new eyes. The goal isn't to have a life free of difficulty. The goal is to become someone who can move through difficulty without losing their alignment. That's real mastery. That's the true path of the awakened manifester. And eventually, something powerful shifts. You stop fearing the return of the old. You start welcoming it as a sign that your new frequency is real. Because only those who are truly changing get tested this way. Only those who are rising get pulled by what used to hold them. But this time, you're not the same person. You've seen the truth. And now, you're learning how to hold it, even when the old world tries to pull you back. Now that you've seen the patterns, faced the pain, and stood your ground through the tests, you reach a deeper realization. It's not enough to just think differently or feel differently. True transformation happens when every part of you, your thoughts, your words, and your actions align into one clear, powerful direction. This is what the ancients called vibrational integrity, and it changes everything. Integrity here doesn't mean being perfect in a moral sense. It means being coherent. It means that what you think matches what you speak, and what you speak matches what you do. No more split signals. No more saying one thing while doing another. Because when you're out of alignment within yourself, your energy weakens. It fractures. It becomes harder for the universe to respond clearly, because your signal is scattered. Think about this. If you want abundance, but your words constantly express fear, and your actions come from lack, you're sending mixed signals. If you say you want love, but your heart is closed and your behavior is guarded, the universe picks up on that. It's not punishing you. It's simply matching the truth of your vibration. Alignment is like tuning an instrument. When every string is in harmony, the music becomes irresistible. This is why some people seem to attract success and blessings effortlessly. It's not luck, it's coherence. Their internal world and external behavior are aligned. They aren't perfect, but they are consistent. They know who they are. They live in truth. And because of that, their energy becomes magnetic. Opportunities, people, and miracles move toward them because they've become easy to recognize in the field. But here's the secret. You don't need to get there all at once. Integrity is built. One honest thought at a time. One aligned choice at a time. You strengthen it every time you choose to be real with yourself. Every time you speak truthfully. Every time your actions reflect your higher vision. It's like building a bridge between who you are now and who you are becoming, and every aligned moment lays a stone on that path. When you begin to live this way, when your mind, heart, and actions move together, you'll start to notice something. The doors that used to be locked suddenly open. The delays that used to frustrate you fade. The path becomes clearer, smoother, more supported, because now your energy is one signal, one frequency, one truth, and the universe responds to that like a tuning fork meeting its perfect pitch. Once you've aligned your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions into a single vibration, something incredible begins to happen. You start to feel it. This isn't just about attracting things anymore. It's not about chasing goals or getting what you want. You're stepping into something much deeper. You're stepping into your true role, not just a manifester, but a co-creator with the universe itself. Thoth's most sacred teachings weren't about getting quick results. They were about preparing those rare souls who are ready to live for something greater. You've passed through layers of resistance, faced emotional storms, cleared old blocks, and practiced vibrational alignment. And now, the next level is opening. You are being invited to shape not just your personal life, but the world around you. You are becoming a living frequency that lifts others just by existing. At this level, you no longer beg the universe to respond. You become a force the universe works through. You don't chase love. You become love. You don't just ask for peace. You radiate peace. And without even trying, your life begins to influence others. Your presence speaks louder than your words. You walk into a room, and people feel calmer, stronger, clearer. Not because you said anything, but because your field is aligned. But here's what makes this level sacred. It's not about ego. It's not about showing the world how powerful you've become. It's about surrender. True power comes when you let go of needing to prove anything. When you trust the flow so deeply that you no longer push, you participate. You no longer demand, you listen. You're not controlling reality. You're dancing with it. That's why this path isn't for everyone. It requires you to give up the old stories of who you thought you had to be, to stop playing small, to stop hiding behind fear, to stop waiting for permission to shine. You've already been called. You've already been chosen by the very fact that you're still here, reading this, feeling this, resonating with this, that tug in your chest, that fire in your belly. That's the code activating. So if you've made it to this point, it's time to say it out loud. I accept the summons. Let that be your final declaration. Let it echo beyond the screen and into the field that surrounds you. This isn't just a phrase. It's a promise to yourself, a commitment to live aligned, to live awake, to live in full connection with the force that has always been guiding you. Now, walk forward. The portal is open, and the world is already shifting in response to your rising,